Welcome back to Advice Pod. My name is Kyle. This is Raysean.
Yo, what's good?
Tell you what's good, man. We're going to be talking about ways in which, first of all, it's called r/ask old people advice. Kind of an offensive subreddit, but whatever. I thought it was a good one, mainly because I had something happen to me yesterday. It says, what is the rudest and nicest way you told a nosy person to mind their business? I'm interested in hearing stories or just comments you made to a person who was just plain nosy, who just didn't know when to stop with the rapid fire questions, no matter how much you tried to change the subject or how nice you tried to tell them to stop asking. What is something you or someone else has said to them that made them completely silent? Thank you in advance.
I can only think of a few.
A few? All right. Do you have one that you want to share first? Because I pretty much just have the one. It happened to me yesterday, and that's the only reason I'm talking about it this week.
Well, it's basically like just saying things you've told people that's like trying to get too much information or shit like that. So it's like, bitch, is you the police? What the fuck you need all this information for? Mind the business that pays you, bitch.
Mind the business that pays you is a fucking good one, man.
Look, that's interesting. That's
It's the most versatile phrase you've got. Is that's interesting, and it all depends on your tone of voice. It's so fucking funny.
And that's basically those three that I can think of. I'm gonna let you go. If I can think of any more, I'll go again.
All right. So yesterday, Friday, I'm working. I usually work from home. I walk out to my car on my lunch break to go hop in and grab a coffee. I sit in my front seat and I see that there is a cigarette butt and a receipt with like a little note underneath my windshield. It had downpoured like 30 minutes before this, soaking wet. I'm like, what the fuck? I get out of my car, I read it, and says, please stop littering. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple things that you might not know about me, Raysean, because we've only hung out in person like, that one time last year, I feel like a few days. I don't know if you picked this up about me. I don't flick cigarette butts out the car. I'll flick the cherry out the cigarette butt, and then I'll put it in a little thing, and then I throw them out, usually once a day. I have this one neighbor who has a terrible reputation amongst all of the other neighbors in the neighborhood. Nobody really likes this woman. But I know that she thinks something of me sitting in my car smoking cigarettes as frequently as I do. She smells it. She thinks it's weird. She smells weed sometimes. Whatever. I know that this woman already has a very low opinion of me, which is fine because, again, I already let you know she's kind of a terrible person. I know too much about her, and she fucking sucks. So honestly, this woman's opinion of me means nil, right? So when I find this thing, I knew exactly who it was right away. I look at the cigarette butt. It is not my cigarette butt. Completely different kind of cigarette. But I look at it, and I know that it is my brother's cigarette butt. My brother just so happened to be pulling a car out of the driveway to pull his truck out of the driveway when this happened. So I take the thing off my windshield. I look at it. It says, please stop littering. I look at the cigarette butt that is not mine, and it is soaked. Smells like shit. Walk over to my brother's car, and I'm like, hey, somebody just put this on my fucking windshield, and we both know that this isn't mine. And then I throw my shit out. You need to stop fucking flicking your cigarette butts everywhere. Because the next time I get a note like this, every person involved is going to have a big fucking problem on their hands. I was pissed, dude. Get in my car. I go and get a coffee. I'm consumed by it the entire time. I'm like, I know it was this bitch. I know exactly. It's the lady in the corner house. I know exactly who it is. I should go down there and throw that. Like, I have the cigarette butt in my car. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I should go down to her car, her house, knock on the door, and flick it in her fucking face. Like, fuck this lady. She doesn't know shit about me. So I decide on the ride back home, I'm like, just let it go. Understandable mistake. She sees you smoking all the time. She's kind of a stupid idiot. Just like, leave it alone. You don't know 100% that it was her. So don't go, knocking on her door, accusing her of shit. You're going to look like a crazy person if it was somebody else. Just let it go, Kyle. So I park my car. I'm sitting there for a minute, having a coffee. And no sooner do I park my car, She comes out of her house walking her little fucking dog. Usually she walks the opposite direction from me. So I knew what she was doing when she started walking toward me. And she's like squinting, looking at my car for an uncomfortable length of time. Normally she just passes by, we don't make eye contact. You know, if she does walk by my car, it's no big deal. She's squinting at my windshield, right? To see if I've noticed that she put a cigarette butt in a receipt there. Obviously, it's long fucking gone. But because I can tell that she's like seeing if it's still there, I'm like, oh, this bitch put it there. Who else would it have been? It is obviously the person I immediately knew who it was. So I feel that hot feeling come over me again. And I'm like, I was going to let it go, but now she's right here and she's obviously ratting herself out with the dumb fucking look on her face. Let me roll down the window right now. And this is where I caught her off guard. I'm not going to say her name now, but I knew her name and I don't think she expected me to know her name. Rolled down my window. I said, hey, your first name. She drops, oh, yeah? I'm like, did you put that shit on my windshield? Yeah, I found it in my backyard. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that cigarette didn't come from me. And if you had taken 10 seconds to look around on the ground around my car that you just walked up to and put trash on, you'd see that there are no cigarette butts around my car at all because I flick them out and throw them in the trash. No, I saw you. You saw me? When did you see me? You went around the other way in the cul-de-sac and then you came by my house that way and you flicked it in my backyard. And that's how I knew that she was confusing me with my fucking dummy little idiot brother. I love him to death, but he's a dummy sometimes. I was like, okay, no, again, I just told you this is not my cigarette butt. I smoke these. This is definitely different. But yeah, it was in my yard. To which I said, so you just pick up the trash that you found in your yard and you put it on somebody else's car because you made a false assumption about them? She goes, well, if it wasn't yours, whose was it? I was like, oh, don't worry. I know whose it was. She goes, well, whose was it? And I said, I'll tell you whose it was. It's none of your fucking business. And her face just dropped. And her little dog was like, rrr, 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 like kind of barking, but like not really into it fully. He's a dick dog. I said, none of your fucking business. And her face just dropped. She's like, what? I'm like, why do you want to know who it was? So you can pick up trash and go put it on their car too? Just let it go. It's not a big deal. You found one in your yard and this is how you chose to respond? She goes, well, you should tell that person not to be flicking cigarette butts around. And I said, don't worry. I let them know because I want to make sure that you and I never fucking have a conversation like this ever again. Do you understand me? Her face, white as a ghost, slack jawed. This is a woman in like her early to mid 50s who doesn't have anything else to do but to like landscape her fucking yard and complain about her neighbors. And obviously, I'm a real easy target because I'm a fucking degenerate sitting outside smoking cigarettes and weed all day, which I get. But don't come at me, bitch, because I'm not the normal fucking degenerate. And I will make you reconsider everything that you just did to be like, for what? Dude, you're going to pick up trash and go put it in other people's cars because you don't have anything else to do that day? Do you really want to start some shit with some middle-aged fucking balding white dude who obviously has a lot of fucking time on his hands? Do you really want to do that? For all you know, I might be one of the weird ones with a gun. I have a lot of motherfuckers be like, yeah, man, I'm really surprised you're not a Trump guy. I had a coworker several years back who was fucking literally like afraid to talk to me about politics because he thought I was the biggest of Trump guys. Not because I ever said anything about Trump, just because I gave off that type of energy. And I was like, I get it. I'm kind of a meathead dumbass. Cool. I get it. But no, actually, I think about shit and pretty liberal, I guess is the right word. My point is, if I give off that energy to like some coworker that I spend 40 hours in the week of the office with, this bitch fucking just sees me on the corner. How do you know I don't have a gun? What is wrong with you, you stupid idiot bitch? Anyway, it's all a long way to say. Pretty sure she'll never say anything to me again. So, got that off my chest. Did you think of anything while I just ranted about my stupid bitch neighbor whose house should burn down?
No, I think the first two I gave were pretty good. I feel like a lot of these are in the situation like, what is this, an interrogation to bitch? Like, you know, like you gotta be in the situation to kind of know what the exact phrase to use. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to realize what sometimes people trying to do. Like they'd be asking you questions. Bitch, what is you trying to interrogate me? Like what is going on? Like what is all these trying to connect the dots and details, bitch? I told you what happened. That's all we need. So
yeah. This woman is the opposite of that. Instead of doing the interrogation and asking the questions, she just makes a bunch of assumptions and goes around spitting those assumptions out to people. So that's why I was like, no, 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 no. I see the assumption you made. You obviously do not fucking know me from a hole in the head. Let me set you straight real quick. And she seriously thought I was just gonna let it go, dude. Like I could see the scared look on her face as she walked by my car, and I was like, "Hey, dummy!"
I feel like right there, you kind of giving us an example, a little bit of a white privilege, because I don't feel like I could talk to my neighbor like that and they'll go the same way.
Oh no, if you were me, dude, she would have called the cops and had you shot. I scared the shit out of her. But honestly, the other thing too is like I did a very good job in not swearing or really yelling. I definitely had it in my voice like I was about to, but they want to know the way that I ended the conversation with her. So I was like,
now have a good day.
This is what I said to her. I'm like, well, I'm sorry that you had a piece of trash blow into your yard. I'm sorry that that happened to you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I rolled my window up. The whole time she could tell that I wanted to yell. The only thing that like I slipped up on a little, and I honestly feel like I caught myself, was I said, it's none of your goddamn business. I did not let one F word into that whole thing. I did it as respectfully as possible in a way that still said, don't you ever fucking make an assumption about me again just because you are bored on your front fucking porch and you found a piece of trash. Because I'll tell you what, bitch, I've been called a piece of trash 1,000,000,001 times in my life. I stopped flicking my cigarette butts out on the fucking road when I was like 22. Come at me again. I swear to fucking God, come at me again, bitch, because I have a whole center console thing of cigarette butts that haven't yet to be thrown out. I didn't go to the gas station or the fucking Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru yet, and I will fucking make you eat every single one of them. Does it sound like I'm going to beat up an elder? Think I'm going to get the cops called on me for this? Because part of it's comedy, and I think it's funny, and I've been laughing about it for the last day and a half. But the other part of me is like, the fucking balls on you, dude. The fucking balls on you to find trash. Assume where the trash came from, pick it up, and go put it on somebody's car, even if it is as small as a cigarette butt. Like the assumption that came with your action. Like, I'm just gonna go fucking kick in your door and be like, hey, bitch, you left your fucking refuse bags out in the street. Is this yours? It must be. Who else has refuse bags in the street? You know what I mean? Like, ugh. Ugh. All right. It was good to talk about at least. Am I crazy? Did I come off crazy? You can say yes. It's okay.
You sound interesting. You sound like those
Bro,
people.
I know what interesting means when you say interesting, man.
You sound like those people who be like, you be like, oh, they got that angry because of that. Maybe we should keep our eyes out on them. Like they sound like they might do something
because they might have a gun. Yeah. I mean, it's not the first fucking time that I shouldn't say it's the first time. I should say it's the first time I've interacted with her directly. However, I did hear something about what she said about me at some point in the last couple months, which was basically like, he's 40 years old and he just sits in his car and smokes. Like, what a fucking weird guy. First of all, bitch, I understand the 40 comment.
That's
I get
funny.
it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, genuinely funny. I guess. Why am I on your radar to the point that you feel the need to go say some shit about it to other neighbors? Because that other neighbor turned around and came and told me immediately, like, this bitch doesn't like you. And I'm like, that makes sense. She doesn't seem like she likes a lot of things, but you know what? It seems like she likes the most is finding one thing to really not like. That's that bitch. She's only happy when she's got something to complain about. So the fact that I just took her whole like, he's flicking cigarette butts in my yard. And I was like, I will make you eat these cigarette butts that did not come from me. And she, dude, I wish I had my camera out so you could have just seen the wrinkles in her mouth. Be like, like every time I said something that made her face drop. Oh my God, it was like a fucking Animaniacs cartoon. I swear to God. All right, now that I'm done telling you guys my story about how I bullied an old woman, Make sure you rate and subscribe to the podcast. Where I didn't raise my voice that bad. I was pretty fucking economic. I was good with my words. I'm not taking shit, dude. I don't care if you're like a fucking rich 55-year-old lady. You can seriously go fuck yourself. I will kick you into traffic if you have some fucking shit to do or say to me. I don't fucking care. Try me. Fucking try me. There's a reason you're 55, you're alone, and your kids fucking don't like you. And it's because you are a terrible fucking person. My shit, a little bit more intentional. All right, I'm good. I'm done. I'm good. Hopefully this didn't get massacred in the edit. I'll probably get lazy and just leave it all in. Subscribe. Any final parting words?
Remember, don't be a butt cheek.
Also, don't let your old ass bitch neighbors push you around. It's your neighborhood too, dog.